Welcome to Conversations with Wellifehub Incorporated. My name is Nkatengo Dalamahoro. I'm excited. Actually, I'm always excited. But anyway, I'm particularly glad today. I'm joined by the Bom Digidi, and I will tell you why I say the Bom Digidi TD Bushielo. I have walked the journey with TD, I think, over 10 years now.
It has.
As my banker. Woo! Guys, I have the stuff that I have because of TD. Let's just say that I'm acknowledging. Like all our houses, TD, we have them. So since you have not been my banker, like the day you resigned from that bank, you know which one we're talking about. Do you know I've never gotten anything ever?
No.
I know.
No.
I know you send me to somebody, and that somebody, I think they resigned because they are no longer there. And then there's somebody, okay, let me not even say the somebody, the current somebody, because this is gonna go public. So but that's the thing. That has been the reality. So
sad reality though.
It is a sad reality, but even now on my vision board as my master alliance, TD Bushielo is there.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, you and I find ourselves in a relationship again in another platform. And maybe tell the listeners and the viewers, where are you now? And if you are open to share that, and who are you and your background, maybe we'll not talk about that bank.
Snippet.
We can, because I think I've been with the same bank for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Because I'm loyal to the brand, but TD was doing the things, guys. Like TD was doing the things. If I had a Bentley outside, it would have been because of TD, my banker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that is such a welcome. Oh my goodness. And hello to you and your listeners. As you've mentioned, my name is TD Bushielo. A 37-year-old from Mpumalanga, a little place called Lifiso. It's a little village. And I'm married Ramatlala. We've got 2 beautiful kids that we're raising. And basically in the space that I'm in now, my background is financial planning, financial services, as you mentioned. Banking was a greater part of my life until now when I moved into the financial planning industry. So I'm a financial advisor at PPS.
And that's where we find ourselves now, with PPS.
Yes, we find ourselves here again. And it's not even planned, hey?
No.
It's not planned. I find you there and then
What, did you find my profile there, or you were like, no, I need to tell Nkatoko about PPS, and then you came across my profile?
I think when I told you that I have left, you wanted a couple of services, and I'm like, I've left already. Yes. And you asked me, Titi, where are you now? And that's when I mentioned that I'm actually with PPS. Do you know PPS? You're a professional yourself, so you should know PPS. So I think that's where the conversation started from, and I'm like, oh wow, this is fate. This is fate.
So to walk that journey. So and as I said, for the longest time, I think since our kids were very, very little, and I even remember when at the bank they were like, as a banker now, we need to know everything about you, even the size of your underwear. We need to know it, and that was actually, and for me, really, and I'm not flattering saying this, but I know we have achieved what we have achieved. Looking at our portfolio and our profile, we were able to achieve what we achieved because of your assistance, and big ups to you. And I know that. For sure, yes, discipline, and something that we are going to be talking about. I mean, we were joking earlier to say, as professionals, you want to show up in certain things because they talk status symbol. I always say to people, it depends on your self-concept. If you're gonna let staff talk about you, or maybe you use staff. So from your background, and I mean, self-concept, self-esteem, self-knowledge, self-acceptance, it's a psychological, notion. But from your understanding of financial planning, what would you say a person needs to look at, especially, for professionals on that front?
Look, I think financial planning goes a long way beyond just banking. So we met in the banking space, but now we found ourselves in more of a financial setup. Yeah. So when we talk financial planning, we're talking a holistic view, whereas in that other one, it was just banking related and ends there. So with holistic view, we talk about you, we talk about your family, we talk about your plans. So it's no longer about you alone, but it's about the plans that you have, the plans that you want to put in place should something happen to you, the place whereby you need to find comfort in knowing that should anything happen to me, everything is sorted out. If I lose my income, I'm sorted out. If I lose my legs,
yes,
I am sorted out. So these are just conversations that we never talk about. They're difficult ones because we're working with risk. We don't want to go there, but I think that's the space that we are in now. And it's very important that each and every one of us understands how important financial planning is, whether on a smaller scale, on a bigger scale, but you do need to have those engagements. You do need to have those people that you go to once in a while just to go and talk about your life and just unpack everything that is happening to you, holistically, financially.
So here you're talking about, thinking about holistically, financially, if I were to lose my income, then what happens? Especially as a business owner. I mean, I am exposed in terms of risk versus when I'm an employee, it's a different risk. And that is why the banks don't like me anymore. Actually, maybe let me just be honest. Business owners, let me just, so oftentimes professionals care about taking care of others and often do not look at themselves. Talk to us.
Very true. I was saying to you earlier on as well that it is sad because you guys as professionals, I mean, I respect the people, especially in the mental health space. You guys save lives in essence. If we look at it, you are always there for us and other clients. You're there for people. You listen to people. You take your time to try and understand or solve whatever whys that people come to you with. And the sad part is who looks after you guys, because you've got so much that you're dealing with. At the end of the day, you also need someone that is also going to look after you, make sure that your plans are also in place, because you get so consumed in everything that you're doing, in saving lives, in creating value. But you guys don't have those meaningful conversations with your financial advisors. You don't get to do that. So I think maybe that is a platform that we still need to open up to say, look, as a professional, you also need that. You need someone to look after you financially. You need to have the peace of mind to know that in terms of estate planning, my will is in place. So if should anything happen to me, at least things are in place. And I think that's what I wanted us to actually tap into, to say who's looking after you guys. And it should be us, financial advisors.
So there's one comment that you left me with, and you even said, and which subsequently then I'm seeing the dentist as well. I think was it December or November or January when we were having the conversation, and I said no, I want to withdraw that money. There's many plans that I have with that money. The product, I think it's a profit share. Yes,
it's a profit share.
Profit share. I said no, I wanna withdraw that money. I've got plans, and you know my plans. I mean, do you know my plans? I'm a big dreamer.
May you always have plans.
you know. and why would you and we can even bring the peace of mind for the mental health with the financial planning into the conversation. Why would you discourage somebody like me to withdraw their money? I mean, that's my money.
You see, that's where we come in.
Sure.
When I say there must be someone that is looking up to you, there must be someone that is saying, hey, what are you doing now? So basically, the concept is, over the years, you've accumulated profit share in your profit share account. And the whole point of that was to create wealth for you. So that money was not for emergencies. You know, that's why we have our tax-free savings. Not even tax-free savings, because that also is not for emergency. But that's where we have like our 32-day notice accounts and all other savings accounts that you might have. But a profit share account is something completely different, because you're creating wealth for yourself and for your family. And also, when you do take this money, you must know that there's going to be penalties. So remember, when you do start with your profit share, we tell you that, look, we are not paying for this. This is just some money, that a portion of your contributions that we take, and we save it for you or reinvest it for you in a separate account. And when you retire, then you can actually have access to that money tax-free. But no, May has plans and big plans, and what you want to do, you remember that, oh, actually, I do have some funds sitting in that particular profit share account, and they said it's my money and I can access it. So the moment you want to tap into that, that's where I come in as a financial planner to say, no, we'd rather look at other vehicles of you accessing money than that particular one. Because there we are creating wealth. We do not want to tamper with this wealth creation that we've put in place. So hence I said it's very important that, and the nice thing about you is that you spoke before doing, because the penalties are very harsh, I must say, because the product is designed in such a way that you access it at retirement. So you can imagine if you take it before time and those penalties, you'll end up getting very little. So thank you also for just speaking. I know you were just
by the way,
by the way, this is what I'm planning to do, and that's where we actually said, "Whoa!" Like full stop. Let's rewind a bit.
Somebody's sitting there listening to us and saying, but CD, as a financial planner, and I think a lot of people have attitudes with financial planners. We know, yes. So, okay, maybe start with that attitude, because I see your reaction before I proceed with my question, yeah?
Sure, that attitude, let me tell you. And we get that a lot from young people. They've got this concept that, you know,
I still have time.
I still have time and I'm healthy, and there's really no need for me to see a financial advisor. But you must understand that the best time to actually secure financial products, it's actually when you're younger, because you're healthier. You don't have hypertension. You don't have depression at that stage. You know, there's no diabetes. You're healthy.
Tell the viewers what I said when you were revamping my stuff, and then you're like, we need this one and this one. And what did I say? No. Let me go on a month of what so that they don't find cholesterol, because if they find cholesterol.
Yeah, you know, like...
So that is as an example. Yes, I know we're joking about it, but I think for several months, and then I had to go to a dermatologist.
When we were doing a review, you're like, sure, CD, exactly. Listen, I need to quickly get myself up in check.
And as you're saying, with a young person, you don't need that.
There's no need for that.
There's products that I took when I was 22, 25, and I did not need that.
At all. Even the underwriting, then it's very minimal, because you are healthy. So they tend to have a notion that, no, I'm young and I'm healthy. But the sad part, or the flip side of this, is that when you grow, the older you get, you know, the more you get prone to sicknesses, you know. And we've seen, you know, diabetes attacks young people nowadays. Cancer attacks young people nowadays. Depression, I think that's one of the biggest one. Young people are battling depression, which is what you deal with on a daily basis. So for me, and this is actually, this message goes out to the young people, to say they should not shy away from actually having these financial planning discussions at a young age, because this is where they need them the most. And also premiums are at the lowest at that particular time, you know. They're manageable. If you compare it to the amount of spending that young people do, and takeaways that they grab, it's relatively cheaper.
So then someone is listening to you and say,
yeah,
make it make sense for me. I want a 3 Series something. We won't talk about it. It's a country that you were there a month ago,
Literally.
and I love it for you, by the way, the traveling. I love traveling myself, but I love it for you that you really are able to do girlfriend trips and solocations and all of that. And it's very liberating, powerful. I was on a radio talk show the other time, and it was about living together. And I say we should normalize when people are married or they have a in committed relationship. We should normalize solocations. That's what keeps the spark. Anyway, I see you want to say something about that before I finish my question. Go.
And let me tell you, and amongst, I think, Black people, the solocations are not so popular. Particularly married people. There's always these dynamics when coming to solocations, especially someone like myself, married to someone that's a little bit older than I am. They don't understand the concept of you are going on a solo.
Alone, yes.
No, it can't be.
Yes. We need fresh air. We need fresh. That's how we keep the spark. Guys, that's how we keep the spark.
And you do. Yeah. This is where you actually go, you rediscover yourself. You learn new things, meet new people. And I think that as a person, or as people, this is how we evolve. You cannot evolve sitting in the same space, doing the same things, now expecting a different outcomes. It can't. So solocations, I'm for that.
Sure. Okay. So we're talking about so there's a young person, professional, as you deal with young professional or professionals, saying a 3 Series what is X amount, and you telling me about putting aside a grand or two for this future that I'm not even sure I'm gonna have that future. Maybe it's a life cover versus maybe just your risk cover, your disability cover.
Yeah.
Why will I do that? I'm still single. I don't have dependents.
Yeah. To a young person or a young viewer out there, I would probably say go minimal. So the most important thing is that you get yourself covered. A car accident does not say you are still young. A car accident does not say you still have these years that you need to. It happens abruptly. It just happens, and what does it do? It disrupts your entire life from your lifestyle. You have to do lifestyle changes in the event that you're in a wheelchair. You might find that the wheelchair that you want, you might have to pay extra for it. Where's that money going to come from? So I think young people, they also tend to look at, but I don't have dependents. So even if I die, my mom and dad, they're working, they will still be okay. But the fact of the matter is we not only, and hence we say holistic financial planning, because we're not only looking at death, but we're also looking at disability. We're looking at a critical illness in the event that something happens to you. We're looking at your income in the event that you're not able to perform your duties or you're not earning an income. This is where we come in and say you need to protect that. And holistic planning is all about that. Yeah, it's because they focus on life cover alone. Or when you approach them, they'll be like, oh, no, I've got group life. In this life and age, we're not our parents anymore. We don't work for a department for 30 years and retire. Take the money, go back to the village and build a house. We are constantly growing. We are moving. We don't stay very long. No. Young people are always evolving. There's always new opportunities. So unfortunately, you're not going to move your group life cover now to the next company that you're moving into. You're going to start from scratch with that. What would have happened? So these are the type of conversations that we need to open ourselves to and start talking about it. And I think that once we start talking about it and we create awareness, then that's when we actually go somewhere.
And that awareness is very key. And I think I want to conclude with talking about financial pressures and what financial pressures can put a person in, the kind of state it can put a person in. And as I said, we were joking earlier about cars, the different cars, where a person comes in and say, "Oh, is this the psychologist's car?" You know, like I thought it was the other one that is parked next to it. You know, and you obviously you laughed your lungs out about that, and you were talking about how people take you seriously because you drive such and such, or you live in such and such a suburb, or you associate with such and such person. And I think in my practice, all I can say, I've seen it all too often to know that everybody needs to stay in their lane. I've seen what that kind of pressure does to people. And at the beginning, I mentioned to say, for me, I understand that self-concept is not tied into things. And I think it was also an episode that I did a month ago where I was talking about my generation, because it's not your generation, you are a younger, but also a younger generation, where younger generation is not tied to things as my generation. And now when those things are taken away, not because you were reckless, but because things happen, life happened. COVID happened. And now because your identity was in those things, and once they get taken away by circumstances, life circumstances, maybe that disability, that chronic illness, that dreaded disease that you did not cover for, put you in that place. So as we conclude, talk to financial pressures as a financial planner.
You know, financial pressures, I think you would know even that, even with the high levels of depressions that we have, financial pressures are actually one of the biggest.
I will that one I will absolutely agree. Actually, I'm doing a collaboration with someone, and I said to them, outside what we're doing for the 1 hour, 1.5 hour, let's have a boot camp. And in that boot camp, as we address things, we need to have somebody to speak to finances, because you find that at the heart of intimacy, it's as a result of finances. As a result of, you know, your own mental health, it's the finances. So 100%.
So I'm with you, and I'm glad you're even able to confirm, to say, look, financial pressures is right up there. And I'll even talk from experience. Look, COVID happened, you know, and if you are in a household and you share your budget with another person, and now there's loss of income to that, you can imagine, you know, the financial pressure that you'll be under. But also at the same time, you must understand now that you still need to try and lead the same lifestyle that you are leading, or appear to be living that lifestyle. But that's what constitutes to that pressure, because if we live above our means and something like COVID happens, or it hits,
or interest rates,
what happens then?
Sure.
So it's very important that we need to try and stick around, or live within our means. That will ease a whole lot of things, you know. Even those cars, when you're buying them, look at your budget and say, is this something that I can afford, or am I pushing myself now over? So very important is that we live within our means, and that will just solve a whole lot of problems.
I know our time has run out, but let me hold this one. So you are talking to somebody and you're talking about living in your means, and they say, but you are not being ambitious, because Robert Kiyosaki tells us that you don't say, I can't afford it. You say, how can I afford it? So they come to you and say, no, Sidi, I'm not going to live in my means. I'm going to pressure myself to affording what might look like I can afford.
So if you want to go into those kind of pressures, just make sure that you back it up as well. It goes back to what I was saying before. You cannot do the same actions and expect different outcomes. So if you are TD and TD says, I've been driving my Hyundai for so long, I want to be BMW.
Where did you mention names? Who's paying you? anyway, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so if you want that BMW, and if you want that lifestyle, if you want to travel, challenge yourself as well to say, okay, that means either one, I'm going to have to go back to school, which is another way, education is another way of elevating you. I need to go and apply for that promotion. I need to go maybe change jobs, go to that other company so you do different things, but you cannot just say, I'll see and live for today, and you haven't backed it up and you finish all your savings or you take all your savings and you'll see tomorrow you can't. You also need to put in the work as well. When you want to do something, as much as you want to tap into those savings, but also you've got plans to say, this is how I'm going to recover that money. So very important, we always need to have plans in place.
Sure.
We need them.
Absolutely. I feel like we have just scratched the surface.
Yeah, you see now.
So meaning that we need another episode to go deep.
Definitely.
And I think as viewers,
definitely.
post your questions to TD. TD's contacts are also going to be in the description so that when you have those financial planning or financial advice questions, you can link up with her. She is there at your service. And I'm hoping that we can have a follow-up conversation or maybe even a panel of other people where we can tap in a little bit more into this conversation, because I think we have hardly scratched the surface. But please leave your questions below in the description and we will engage with you. Thank you so much for being so kind and generous with your time. I know how busy you are. You have just been traveling, and I know you're also going somewhere to go and, do the hard work as well. But it has been a pleasure to catch up with you on camera. I, we speak for many, many hours about many, many issues. And I think you have captured this very well with our listeners to just hear more on that element of financial planning and our mental health.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh my goodness, it was my first time on a podcast, so the nerves were also going crazy. But thank you for also making the space comfortable for me. And I look forward. I hope there will be a part 2, because you're right. I think we just barely
scratched the surface.
But thank you so much for having me.
Thanks to you, and we'll see you next time.